going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Welcome back to our Crusaders career mode. Today, taking on the Sharks, and I believe one of our last games on our African tour. Would be nice to go and pick up a win. We got a win in our first game. We lost to... Who did I play last round? I played someone last round. I can't quite remember who it was. I think it was the Bulls, actually. And lost to the Bulls 11-8. So, currently 1-1 on the South African tour, which you can't complain about too much. But if you want to be the championship side that we were last year, we're obviously going to want to go and pick up a few more victories on this overseas tour. But I think, personally, it is better to do... You know, if the draw works out in your favour, like it has here, I personally think it's better to go to South Africa at the start of the season and, you know, not have to worry about that. Because I couldn't think of anything worse after having a long season. You know, you've played like 12 games or so and... You know, all of a sudden it's like, well, you got to go South Africa for 4 weeks. You know, and I think it's just the travel and obviously playing at the different altitude really can go and, you know, just, I guess, disturb your playing style. So it would not be a nice thing to have to go through. So it is quite good that we are getting it done and dusted early on in the season rather than later on in the piece. But that's enough about that. There is a fair bit of rugby that is going to be coming up over, well, I guess the next couple of months. And it really is going to give me something to talk about in these episodes. So I am really happy about that there. What were you doing there, McCaw? I really don't know. But really looking forward to that. So the first thing is the Mitre 10 Cup, formerly known as the ITM Cup here in New Zealand. I think I did talk about this last week sometime, and that is basically like provincial rugby here in New Zealand. It's our provincial rugby competition, so really looking forward to that there. So that starts, I believe, either tomorrow or Thursday. So it's actually not too far away at all, and Ricky Iani, I believe it is, just spilling the ball completely and then missing the tackle. So we could be in, I was going to say, for a little bit more hurt than just that knock on around the halfway line. Possibly could have been a try to the Sharks, but some good defence as usual. And that is really what we've gone and built, you know, built this Crusaders dynasty on. Is just our defence. Our defence has been absolutely rock solid. We haven't conceded many points, haven't conceded many tries. And if we can keep it that way, obviously it does make it a lot easier for us. It means we have to score less. Oh, why didn't he go for the outside ball there? I do not know. But anyway, back to that. The ITM Cup, Mitre 10 Cup, whatever you want to call it. I believe it is the Mitre 10 Cup this season. I think they've got the sponsorship rights. But it is really, really exciting. New Zealand Provincial Rugby, and normally the games are very, very exciting. Not all the All Blacks and I guess Super Rugby players, because they are off playing in the Investec Rugby Championship, but there are still some very good high quality players that do take part in this tournament. So it is going to be very interesting to see how that goes. And that's a great touch finder because we put it just before touch. The Sharks fullback has gone and taken it into touch. So it is our throw on the 10 metre line. And it has been a wee while since we've managed to pick up some possession actually in... I was going to say I probably spoke too soon. That we actually had some possession and some territory up inside the Sharks half. So we're just going to do that. I'm going to try and play a little bit more of the kicking game this season and just try and get it down into those pockets and build that pressure, because that's something I don't think we did very well last season. We played a lot of the game inside our own half, and that did make it difficult. It made it hard to try and get anything going and to just try and get out and just... I was going to say get out again, but it just does make it difficult to go and get any momentum, get any go forward ball. And you know, we are having to go and chase the game rather than us being able to go and play it from inside the Sharks half and even inside their 22. And this should have been a turnover, but it isn't the case. So as I said, I believe those Mitre 10 Cup games start either Wednesday or Thursday New Zealand time. So really looking forward to that. Hopefully Canterbury can go and pick up a nice win. They've got their first game on Saturday, 7:35 local time against Auckland. So it is going to be a big game, a big local derby to finish things off. And that is what is good about this Mitre 10 Cup. There are a lot of local derbies. And it is just really, really good to watch. I really enjoy it because everyone seems to play a good, well, you know, like a good, what's the word I'm looking for? a good brand is what I'm looking for, a good brand of rugby. So it will be interesting to see how things cap off with that, and it is going to be, a couple of months of a lot of rugby because they really do go and squeeze it in. I think there are games that are played Wednesday through Sunday, I think. So there is a lot of rugby 5 days a week, and it is, as I said, very enjoyable to watch. So hopefully we do get some good games. Hopefully Canterbury can come out on top. I don't believe they did last season. I think last season was the first time Canterbury lost. Oh my God, I was just speechless there. I couldn't believe that the prop was outrunning everyone. But I think it's the first time in about 6 years that Canterbury didn't manage to actually go and pick up the title. Cheeky drop goal from the Sharks to finish things off. And you wouldn't expect anything less from the South African side than to take a drop goal when the chance is there. But as we can see, possession and territory greatly in the Sharks' favour. We need to get our hands on the ball. We need to get down into the Sharks' half and just make something happen. But to go into the break with those stats, only down 3-0, is a testament to our defence. It shows how solid our defence is and how good it's been. To obviously have hardly any of the ball and to have hardly any of the territory, to be playing down in our own half majority of the time, to still manage to get something going on. That's a great tackle on the holo. That's an absolutely great tackle. You can't ask for too much more when you're taking down a big man than to go around the ankles, and that is exactly what happened. But it does give us a chance now to break out. But again, the Sharks' defence has been solid too, and another turnover just to compile things. Just as we were starting to get a little bit of momentum and a little bit of go-forward ball, we have had the ball turned over twice now. So we're going to have to go try and win it back, or hopefully force the Sharks into an error. So I talked about the Mitre 10 Cup in the first half. Another tournament series that is starting very soon, starting this Saturday, is the Rugby Championship. I did want to call it the Tri-Nations, but the Rugby Championship, which is played between the 4, I guess, powerhouse Southern Hemisphere teams. Go DC, you ripper. Just like that, we're on the board. But anyway, played by the 4 powerhouse Southern Hemisphere teams: Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Argentina. Now, Australia are the defending champs, surprisingly. And I guess Australia were playing real well. Obviously made the... Oh my God. I double-tapped X way too quick there. Jesus, that is appalling. I believe that is the first conversion I've ever missed in this game. Especially... Well, it must be the first conversion that I've missed while recording. But Australia are the defending champs in that series, and they did have a pretty good 2015. It's just 2016 that hasn't really been too kind to them as of yet. Obviously, the 3-0 series whitewash against England. Great take, Colin Slade. Great covering. Now we just got to try and get out of our own in goal. And this is where we need to be careful. This is where I think, the kick really does come into effect if we can get it nicely. Surely that player is offside, referee. Surely he has come from an offside position. That was dangerous, but it worked well. Well, it didn't really. We only got out past the 5-metre line, but that's okay. But anyway, back to Australia. They did have a fairly good 2015, obviously losing World Cup finalists, won the Rugby Championship. I don't think they won the Bledisloe Cup. They didn't win that back. It was just the 2 games and it was drawn 1 apiece, so it stays in New Zealand. But it'll be interesting to see how they go this time around. Michael Cheika, the Australian coach, already trying to play head games with the New Zealanders, just saying, well, I guess just trying to pick almost our side for us. And I believe Steve Hansen's response was, I believe, Michael Cheika should really focus on his own team, because I heard he has a few selection problems, and that is obviously going on about the 3-0 series whitewash that they had against England earlier in the year. And the Sharks are going to dot down for their first try of the game underneath the posts as well. So that takes it out to 8-5, kick to come to make it 10-5. And all of a sudden, we are back behind the ball game, 15 minutes left to go. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But really looking forward to Rugby Championship as well. It's good. I think it'll be good to see how this new look All Black side are going. Obviously, without Dan, without Richie, without Nonu, Conrad Smith, Kevin Mialamu, and you know, I guess just the new leadership group as well. It'll be very interesting to see how things do pan out. Obviously, a 3-0 series win against Wales, which did have its moments, it had its good with its bad, but it will be interesting to see how we go against, I don't want to say some stronger opposition, because Wales are a very strong rugby nation. They are, you know, up there. I believe they're inside the top 5 or 6 in the world. But to play against, I guess, a team, well, teams that are more familiar with us, teams that have taken us on, you know, all through the Super Rugby campaign, and you know, teams that we do play, you know, more often than teams from the Northern Hemisphere. So that will be interesting to see. So the kicks off, I believe, Saturday night. Australia New Zealand is, I believe, the first game. At 9:35 New Zealand time, and that's a stupid pass from you, Joe Moody. Absolutely stupid pass, and we're going to lose possession here again. I believe we're going to see our, I was going to say our first loss, but our second loss actually of the season, because we did lose to the Bulls last time around when I did simulate 11-8. So that wouldn't be the best of starts for the defending champs to head down 1-2. After the first 3 games. Remember, it is the South African period. I was going to say the South African part of our tour, and that's just sloppy play from the Crusaders. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. It is just unbelievable. Just got to kick it out, boys. Just got to kick it out. That's all you got to do. And that's what they have gone and done. So we see the Crusaders lose to the Sharks by 10 points to 5, and that is something we are not used to seeing on the series. We're used to seeing the Crusaders get up and get the job done. But as we can see, the possession did even out a little bit in the second half, but the territory battle was still won heavily by the Sharks. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter links that can be found down below in the description. Hope you're having a good week so far. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. I've got more Don Bradman cricket batting career coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.